Jimmy, defeat this evening, all 90 plus 12 of it. What do you make of the action today?
I think there was much in the first half, and until they have the penalty, I think we actually have the best opening chance. You'd probably argue with Callum Aycock, and at very worst, we need to make the keeper work. The nature in which we concede the goal, the penalty. There's probably about 4 or 5, events leading up to the penalty that aren't good enough, and it all stems from not landing on the second ball in the middle of the park and being seconds. And I thought we were seconds for large parts of the times on regains in around that area of the pitch. I think we probably had about 3 or 4 opportunities to have clearances in the opening 10-15 minutes, and we slash at things and we underhit things and we don't beat the first line, and that was evident for the penalty again. It's a slash clearance when it has to be a guide, and they land on it, and we have to be more patient in around that territory.
Any complaints with the penalty? And I guess once they get that lead, that then gives them something to hold on to for the rest of the game.
I haven't seen it, but you look at the territory where he's in, and at this level, he's seemingly, people go over the top of the ball and go under. They get rewards and they get free kicks and they draw the foul. So I haven't seen it back. I don't think there's many arguments from our players and our boys. So that probably tells a story.
What was the message going into the second half?
I think to settle down a little bit. I asked if the players thought there was space on the pitch, and the space that they identified was whether it was the same as mine, and I just thought we had so much opportunity to go into forward areas and pin, and we had a lack of security around that area of the pitch. I think we had a spell within about 2 or 3 minutes. Went into rooms, nothing round him. He heads it, can get hold of it, and the same with Joe. It goes into Joe, and he's got no pressure within about 4 or 5 yards of him, and he hooks it on. So that ability, when the games are, listen, I know the conditions are difficult, windy, but they're difficult for both teams. By the way, have a bit of a calmness and take a touch. I said that an advantage would be the wind for territory, for getting around that area of the pitch, but what I didn't want to do, I didn't want to take it literally, and keep lumping the ball around there. It was about taking the space and working the ball in there, and most definitely for us today, the spaces and the output for us would have been via our wide plays in wide areas, and to get the ball there quicker, to get the ball with better quality in around that territory, and to have more end product. And just to note there that the young lad Oshishikwe comes on the pitch, and he puts in 2 or 3 very, very, very good crosses in the opening 10 minutes on the pitch.
That a disappointment, considering got plenty of balls into the box and plenty of territory and dominance in their half, and didn't really make the keeper work.
No, we never. I don't think he had a shot to make in the first half. And that's what we have to be better at. You got to make him earn his money, and we haven't done that. And there was probably 2 identical passes that have been crossfield crosses, stroke diagonal passes that the big man collared, and he's got to gamble and get across the line of the ball. And there was one with Joe Sabara, near post, gamble and get across the line of the ball. And that's them are things that we haven't been particularly great at all season.
And clearly disappointing to concede the second with what was potentially their first real attack of the second period. Yeah,
absolutely right. Listen, you can see 2 goals in any game, and it's going to be a difficult task to get back in the game and to go on to win the game. So as that goal went in, the point is to try and get one back in and see if we can get draw anything out of the game, and we're able to do it. Just Lazarus asked the question in there. Chrono's obviously in an unfamiliar territory. I'm not saying he can't manage the ball in there, but some of our decision making, against pressure at times this evening was poor.
Through the kitchen sink at the end, Goodge got the goal, but in the end ran out of time in the end, didn't we?
Yeah. Forget the added time, and throwing the kitchen sink and using that phrase. We had 45 minutes to do it, and in that 45 minutes. And this is the thing that the group have to be better at. In that first 15 minutes, we have some really good opportunities and good threats in around that territory without really posing a threat on their goal, and we see that as a negative. We got to grow on the positive of that. They're on the back foot, they're against the ropes. We've got to keep peppering, and we start to get frustrated that as I just spoke about there, people aren't getting across the line of the ball. But if you keep putting the ball in there with quality, chances are we're gonna fashion a chance, and we need to be a little bit better with our positivity on the pitch.
Tyron Williams didn't make it for the first time this season. What update on his fitness?
Yeah, so he took a contact late in the game against Weymouth, a little bit of bruising on the foot, which is very, very, very painful, and he found it very, very, very difficult to weight bear, and he's on crutches now. He's been X-rayed. There's no fracture in there. It's just heavily, heavily bruised.
So hoping to have him back potentially quicker than first thought, maybe.
As I said, he's on crutches currently, so not being a fracture is a big positive. But I'll wait on assessments from the physio.